We are live, and you're watching the Pigskin in the Mosh Pit podcast. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Pigskin in the Mosh Pit podcast. I'm your host, Big Bri. Let's bring in the panel. First up, ex-Mushroom Head front man, Purgatory. You know him. You love him. It's Jeffrey Nothing, a.k.a.
How's it going, brother?
What's up, my man?
Chilling, looking at the bottom of the elk that I can't usually see.
All right.
He's smiling.
Yeah, man. We also got from the Manimals, front man, the Manimal. It's Larry the Wolf. What's up, my man? Oh, he's dressed and ready to chill. It's Halloween.
Hey, you cats.
What's up, dude? Oh, man, the makeup's looking especially sweet tonight. That's sweet. Nice. And last but not least, always our favorite sports writer from Cleveland.com, Made in America, Mob Rules, Stan Gillis. What's up, Dan?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, brother?
We made it.
Good to see you.
Yeah, everybody made it, man. I was getting a little concerned about you guys. I was like, oh, boy. It was me and Jeff. We thought we were going solo.
I already did that once.
So what's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
Always better after a win. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they're a lot easier to talk about. Remember, you guys, anybody out there watching, you can join us. You join the chat. I'll put you up there if you put anything that's worth putting up there. And put it in front of the guys. All right, guys. So, yeah, like you said, the Browns victorious this week. Very impressive game, fun game to watch. I mean, it was a blast of a game. It was like how do you say it? It was like watching the opposite Browns or whatever. It was like
Bizarro World Browns.
Yeah, Bizarro World Browns. It was like everything that normally happens to Cleveland was happening against Cleveland, and everything that normally it was the vice versa of everything, and it was almost fun to watch. Now, Jim Donovan somehow is getting a lot of credit for this, but yeah. I mean that's cool. I mean, whatever you think, it's cool. But it sure was a lot of fun. It sure was a lot of fun to watch that game. Beating Baltimore is always fun, no matter what. I mean, I don't care.
4 of the last 6.
Well, yeah, I mean, have we really? Is that we've beat them 4 out of the last 6 games?
Yep.
That's great stat. That's a great stat. It's fun beating Jackson. I mean, let's just be honest. That dude's done some shit to us that's just been off the chart type stuff. And it's always fun to beat them guys when they beat you like that and stuff. And just a great game to watch, fun game, especially when it's been absolutely a miserable year. That was actually a pretty fun game. Now, there's a lot of things that happened in that game. A lot of things that happened with the Jets. We'll get with that too.
We have even records.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on with the Jets. I really don't.
Dude, look, guys, congratulations on your win.
Yeah, I mean, we got one game.
2-6 is 2-6. As I said, I'll get excited when one of these two teams rattles off 4 straight victories to get to 500. Until then, we got to see this alternate universe yesterday or the other day where the Browns actually played to what their potential is, and it's fun to watch. But two wins from both of these teams. They're 4-12 between the two of them. Sorry.
I agree with you, dude, and I think we really do need to curb our enthusiasm with this, because let's just be honest. I watched the whole game too, and like I said, it was fun, and in a lot of ways, Jameis Winston reminds me of Joe Flacco, and in more ways than I can even like imagine. Watching him play football, they are so similar. They get out there, they just throw the fucking ball wherever. And let's just be honest. I mean, so much luck played into this game where Winston was Winston, dude, period. He was Jameis Winston. He was the same Jameis Winston since the day he was drafted. It's just for whatever reason, things that normally don't happen where dudes normally should catch the balls that were literally, I mean, gifted to them. And it just didn't happen. So, I mean, and it's and plays that are game changers. I mean, literally game changes. Immediately you lose this game. So, I mean, let's just be honest about it. I mean, things went our way this time that they don't normally go our way. And yeah, that's enjoyable, but sustaining things is a whole different story. And I think that we got to curb our enthusiasm a little bit, because not only did we, and don't get me wrong, we beat a great team. It's not like we beat some slug team, but we have a horrendous schedule in front of us, and I don't really know what to think. I mean, I really don't know what to think about the Browns. I've seen some really bad football. So, well, you guys will tell me what you guys think. I mean, what the fuck?
Let me say one thing, because his name came up and we've crapped on the guy before. Here again, Joe Flacco. Guess who just got named as starter?
Yeah, I know.
Joe
He's
Flacco.
lighting it up.
Yep.
Because of that style of play it's its own thing. You can throw 5,000 yards over a season with that style of play, but you also are going to get picked 27 times.
Russian roulette.
Yeah, I mean, it is a game like that. But it's so much fun to watch. But it's like, it's not. How do you explain it? It's fun.
In many cases, a pick is a hell of a lot better than a sack.
Yeah,
it's true. No, it's true.
Well, if it's third and long and you're on your 30 and you throw it deep and they pick it on their 20, it's like a punt.
It's a punt.
If your defense is great, if your defense is playing great, that's the real key.
It's like that.
Playing great.
It's like that Nebraska-Ohio State game. That kid is a great quarterback because he just takes chances, and he almost beat Ohio State. He just got picked finally on the last drive. But he's like a true freshman, and he's like Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, just slinging it and hoping for the best. But that's exciting football.
It is. It was exciting. I mean, Winston's an exciting guy to watch. He's a character off the field. I mean, he's a fun guy. He's just a crazy dude. But whatever. I mean, like the thing. There's a lot of things that happened in that game too that were just uncharacteristic of the rest of the season. Guys catching great pass, making great catches.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense absolutely showed up and just absolutely did some things that nobody's been able to do all year. I mean,
they were down at least two starters, and they definitely came alive. And just the Rappers drops, like, we should have lost big time, but guys that usually are stars for them didn't show up when it mattered.
Oh my God, it was the weirdest game to watch. It was like it was almost like it was so weird to watch a play develop where you've watched that play develop 100 times against you, and the guy catches the ball and runs it, and you're just like, here. I mean, like, your brain's so trained to go, here we go again, here we go again, here we go again. And then this game was so bizarre because it fucked your brain all up. Because as you were going, here we go again, it didn't happen, and you were like,
yeah.
That was not supposed to happen like that just now. What happened?
And we got the bounces. Like usually that field goal attempt bounces off the upright and goes wrong. Everything just bounced our way in that game.
It was Jim Donovan, obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd be curious to go back in history and see when Gibb Shanley kicked the bucket. Did they win when he crossed?
Same with Nub Chandler. He was like my favorite.
I don't know.
Well, I do know.
If they won, it's how they won.
I do know that when Casey Coleman died, the Indians are playing the Yankees in 2007, and that was the game right after that the midges came and swarmed all over Jabba Chamberlain.
Yeah, that was great.
And they won, and everyone was saying, "There's Casey sending down the bugs."
I love it, man. I mean, like, hey, it's Halloween.
Wow.
It is Halloween.
There you go, man.
Nice.
So
there's Halloween.
Freeman just hit another home run in the 6th
4 games.
So now he has the record 6 straight.
Oh,
and,
6 straight.
Yeah, because he hit one with the Braves. And then a Yankees fan just tried to take the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove after an out. The craziest case of interference ever.
I love when they completely show themselves and they're just the Yankees.
That eye makeup is amazing, Larry.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
We just woke up this way to this morning.
Yeah, no, it's exceptionally great today, dude. Your makeup is phenomenal.
Kiss says nothing on you.
Hey, I told you last time I'm gonna divert off this thing for just a section. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Jeff, Don used to do the howl, then you start doing the howl for me. I attempted the howl exactly one time at a show. It was at the Metal 99 show. It was like my Elvis Comeback 68 special. I hadn't played a show in 11 years. And we come back and we had the cemetery sets. We had a good night that night. It was at the Odeon. So I come out, and I think it comes out like a howl. The audience goes dead silent, looks at me. And I realized when I looked at the videotape, I sounded like a cat coughing up a gigantic hairball. Zero response.
Wow.
It was terrible.
Get that cat out of here.
I'm never going to do that again because apparently I can't. They looked at me. I had this, and then they all went, kill the crowd for a moment. They looked at me. It's like in a Christmas Story when he asks his parents for the gun, and he said they looked at me like lobsters were coming out of my ears or whatever. The crowd looked at me like, what did he just do? And I realized it sounds like my cat when he gets sick in the basement.
Awesome, man.
Yours is awesome. Mine is not.
Yeah, no, your makeup looks great tonight for sure. He just froze. He just froze up. Oh, he's back. He's back.
You. I'm bad at accepting compliments. Thank you. So let me give you guys a stat to show you how pathetic the Jets are, because God bless the Browns. Good for the Browns. You know what my favorite part? Oh, I should say, you know what my favorite part of this weekend with football was?
What was that?
Joey Bosa. Or Nick
Joe
Bosa.
Oh, yeah.
When Nick Bosa crashed Purdy's interview post-game beating the Cowboys.
And he had a MAGA hat on.
Yes, he did.
Nick Bosa, and he did it in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. That went over like a fart in church.
Wow.
Yes, Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa's a fucking manimal. Since 1950, any team that has scored 20-plus points, had 0 turnovers, and held their opponents to under 250 yards, they've gone 756-0 until Sunday.
Wow.
The Jets did that. Now it is 756-1.
Oh my
the Jets
God.
figured out the only team in the last 74 years that has gone 20-plus points, had 0 turnovers, held the opponent to under 250 yards, and they still figured out how to lose.
Wow.
That's what a shit show, a pathetic shit show they are.
That's a Brown stat.
That's a Jets stat. They don't own that one. The Jets own that one. They suck.
So are they going to have
it's so weird too. Isn't it weird that the Jets perpetually suck? I mean, in a strange way, it almost kind of like squashes any fires about fixing games or not so much fixing games, but like, it's fixed for the big city, or it's fixed for LA, or it's fixed for New York, because the Jets are New York, really. I mean, like, that's really, and the Giants were kind of New Jersey. It was always kind of like, I think, thought of in that way, but the Jets always sucked, and it makes no goddamn sense that the city, the biggest city of the fucking country, sucks every year. I mean, it almost makes no sense, really.
Joe Namath is the fucking goat. I'll say it tonight. You know why? Because other than Jesus Christ, no human being of this earth could carry that wretched, foul, embarrassing franchise to the top of the mountain, except for that one human.
That's right.
there's a curse of Broadway Joe. Like who's the guy, the guitar player that sold his soul to the devil?
Johnson.
Robert Johnson. Right?
Robert Johnson.
Yeah, they say, and then they always have the thing. Babe Ruth put the curse of the Bambino. So there's all these stupid Jet fans go, the curse of Namath. Think, are you kidding me? The only curse was when Sonny Werblin talked him into not going with the St. Louis Cardinals in the NFL and going to the Jets. And in spite of them going 5 great years, taking him to the top of the mountain, and then letting them exploit him and run him into the ground and destroy him. I can't stand that team.
You think they'll have a fire?
You talking about the Jets?
They should.
About the Jets? Detroit?
Clean the whole shit show out. Yes, Jeff. Clean them all out. Rodgers out. Devontae Adams out. Clean the whole thing out. Woody Johnson sell the team. Fold. Get rid of them. And it's not even Aaron Johnson's fault or Aaron Rodgers' fault. Aaron Rodgers' fault. They've kept. Who keeps a kicker that is 60% on the year?
Nobody.
Who
even
does
the Browns get rid of that guy? Even the Browns got rid of him.
You choose to lose. You choose to lose when you keep a kicker who has missed as often as Zerline and literally cost them 3 games right now. They'd still not be great. If they had won those 3 games, they'd still be underachieving. But they have kept a guy that's at 60%.
They think he's a 2015 version of Greg Zerline, and he ain't.
Yeah.
Greg the Leg is no longer Greg the Leg.
Yeah, it's been rough. I mean, it's been a rough year for them. I mean, and it shouldn't be. They have a decent team. They shouldn't be as bad as they are.
Let's talk about the Browns. It was a good week for you guys. I don't want to talk about those other.
It was a good week. It was a good week, and there was a lot of things that happened in that game that I do want to talk about because it was such a fun game to watch. But it was such a, like I said, bizarro is a great way to put it because it not only was it the opposite type thing, but just things that just weren't happening all year that suddenly seemed to just appear out of nowhere. And I know that everybody loves to talk about how Watson this, Watson that, but although the quarterback play was completely different, I'm not going to say it wasn't. I'm going to say that everything was different about this game. The way the defense played was it was like last year. It was other level. And granted, I will say this: the Ravens can bring that out of anybody, and I won't discard that at all if you want to say, but it was just a different team for whatever reason. And that makes me scratch my head. I'm like, what? Why? Well, okay, why does the whole team look different? So what is some ideas you guys got? Do you guys, first of all, do you agree that it seemed like every aspect, it seemed like our punting game wasn't the only game that was working. It seemed like everything was kind of working in this game. And why? Like, how are we able to all of a sudden stop a guy like Henry? How did we do that? All of a sudden I'm like, this guy, all of a sudden we can tackle people? When did we start tackling people? Now, obviously it put people in the hospital.
Yeah.
but I'm just, do you guys agree with me that it was just it was all of a sudden weird that they were, I really can't explain with some of the things I was watching. Does anybody?
Njoku showed up too, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was.
They were catching everything. They were just catching every ball that was thrown. They were catching.
He was out for at least 3 games. Chubb wasn't around, and the offensive line is actually healthy. And DeJuan Jones on his worst day is better than Wills on his best. And,
even the penalties.
Kaplan's healthy. The center's healthy.
Well, our line definitely was improved. There's no doubt.
And guys that couldn't catch a cold, like Tillman, dropped the ball in his hands that would have extended that series, and we might have won that game. And now he couldn't drop anything. It
was a weird. That's what I said. And that's why I have to. Even Nick Chubb, half that time. I to be honest with you, I just kept thinking to myself throughout that whole Chubb thing that he's going to come back, and I don't really think he could possibly look. It takes so much explosiveness in the NFL to be a great running back. It takes so many and the dude's really starting to look like fucking Nick Chubb again. Like all of a sudden I'm watching this game and I'm like, he's dragging people again and he's dragging piles again and he's doing that Chubb shit again. And I think it's just going to take a little while before he starts getting his cuts down again. And once them cuts come back where he sees them holes and he's able to hit them, because you can see he sees them. He's just a little late on him, and these guys are able to get to him. But like I can see it's happening with that dude. That is so huge. If that dude is 80% of that dude, and he comes back like that. That changes so much of this team because now you're going to have to rely on play action more. You're going to have to rely on a straight pocket passing type game. You're going to need a running game. You're going to have to Chubb. You're going to need Chubb because it's obviously the rest of the running game is pretty much inept.
Great backs have great vision. They see the field in a way that others don't.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, that's what I agree. And you've seen Chubb do that. I mean, like his whole career, he sees holes that you and you're right, dude. You watch these other running backs, and I'm not saying they suck. It's just like they're the mid-tier guys. They run into their own dudes. They run in like you're seeing the whole field from the perspective that we have, and you see that there's like not a person on both sides of these two people blocking each other, and the running back runs in to them two guys. And you're like, dude, you could have went anywhere except there. And whatever happens, it's vision, like you said. It makes all the difference because they're all fast, they're all strong, they're all that stuff. But I think it's the same thing with quarterbacks. Quarterbacks' vision, the vision of a quarterback, I think, is the difference maker in the NFL. The guys that see the open dudes first are the best, and that has so much to do with it. But anyways, I divide. Whatever that word is.
Digress.
Don't say that.
I know Nick
Wilson.
Nick Wilson. I should have it down. So anyways, give me some ideas. Dan, give me some ideas. What's some of your ideas? What do you think you saw that can explain some of the things that we saw?
Well, I'm going to start at the coaching. The fact that Stefanski finally gave up play calling and gave it to Dorsey. I personally thought that it was not the best timing going to a drop back quarterback in Winston when you got your dual action RPO guy calling plays. I thought this is going to suck.
Did seem odd.
And it looked just like it did last year at the end of the year when Flacco was, doing the vertical passing game. And I will say that Winston made at least 4 passes that should have been intercepted, including the second to last one he threw, which is right in the dude's hands, and he dropped it. Thank God. And the very next play, dagger to Tillman touchdown. Yeah, I mean that's how quick it turns. Winston came in with confidence. I'll give him that. He came in with bluster and fire and bluster, running his mouth and getting the other guys hyped up.
Well, he's a gunslinger. That's what he is.
He is a gunslinger.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to do what he does. That's what he does. He's just going to go in there. He's going to whip the ball around and just, you hope the other guy don't catch it. I mean, literally, that's the game you're watching. I mean, it's exciting because you have to hold your breath every pass. But like you said, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
But that's fine. But putting Dwan Jones at left tackle and then finally benching Wills totally, I think was a huge game changer with the line. I think Jones is built for left tackle. Conklin's healthy finally. He's playing well. You finally got Zeller back. Or Teller, sorry. Perfect timing. You set Zach Zinter, who's a jabroni. What a waste he was.
Yeah, he was terrible. He's
fucking Michigan guy. So you finally, your offensive line, like as Jeff pointed out, is finally at about as close to full strength as you've been all year. Chubb is getting better each week. He was showing signs of old Chubb on Sunday, which was nice. And the guys were catching the ball. Cedric Tillman, where have you been for 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Welcome to the team, brother. I've been waiting for that forever.
Weird. I know, and he's wide open, and he's just like, I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is this game I'm watching? It was just crazy, man.
I think having Stefanski not call plays and able to kind of be the CEO or the overall coach. I mean, you could tell at times he felt naked.
Oh my God! In the beginning of the game, they kept showing him, and you could just see the dude was like losing his fucking mind.
But
yeah.
But you notice, it seemed like he was a little more chippier with officials, and he seemed like he was more engaged with things. And maybe I've been a Stefanski guy since they hired him. I think he knows his offense. He's a good coach. He's been a winner. But I think that the play calling was getting a little too much. And then when you throw in a guy like Dorsey, who's not in his circle of coaches, so to speak, and they're speaking two different languages, and it's just not working. You got a guy calling other guys' plays. So either they had to fire Dorsey and make Stefanski call his offense, or say, all right, Ken, we hired you to do this. Here you go. And they did that, and it paid off. So, I mean, and the defense, yeah, they showed up. And you know,
in a big way. I mean, because we needed that. I mean, like, if that don't happen, we don't win. I mean, dude, they stopped two of the most unbelievable players this year on offense. I mean, period. I mean, they literally, and not only that, but I mean, Jackson has just been fucking incredible again. I mean, the dude.
We had 7 quarterback hits, 3 sacks, and 7 tackles for a loss. So all 3 sides of the ball happened in one game for the first time all year.
All year, dude. And
it was beautiful to see.
Yeah, I mean, and there was we were literally looking like we were running into a buzzsaw when we entered that game. I mean, Baltimore was fucking hitting on all cylinders. Their defense was but really it wasn't so much their defense was it was like you're comparing it to the old Baltimore defenses. You're thinking Baltimore defense, and this really kind of isn't that thing, but definitely not something it's good D that we beat. And I mean, it was overall, it was just a well played, fun game, and some things went our way for a change. Even the refereeing, like how many times I looked for the yellow thing in the corner and it didn't pop up on a big play. Like, big plays almost just trigger my brain to go there and go, all right, that's over 30 yards.
Oh, I looked for it.
We need a
flag somewhere. There must be a flag. And some of these calls have been horrendous. It's not just on Browns games, dude. It's everywhere.
Oh, that Sam Darnold face mask.
God, dude.
Right in front of the dude. Come on, man.
God, some of these calls, they're getting so bad, dude. And it's at a time where everyone's holding a camera now. You can't get away with nothing. Like, there's cameras everywhere. So everything gets caught. Like, so every time something is shady with these refs, there's no way to hide anything. I mean, like, it's so, and you're going to get different angles like that one. And I don't know, man. It's starting to get weirder and weirder with the refereeing, and the whole thing is really, it's just that call alone can just dictate the game. I mean, that's it. It's done.
It's like their safety blanket. If something happens, they don't want to allow.
They got 30 yards.
Go back and find a hold.
Yeah, they got 30 yards holding. You know, like that guy is literally tackling that dude, but that's okay. That we need that team to win. Oh, it's a 50-yarder. Oh, and celebrate. Yeah. In the meantime, there was a tackle, not even a hold at the line of scrimmage. And it's just terrible. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's like, they're going to ruin this fucking game. I'm getting to the point where I'm almost positive that eventually here we're going to see.
I mean, there's no way Kansas City should be undefeated, and they are.
Oh, absolutely not. They're not that good.
No, I mean, it's like
it's just what they want.
Yeah, it's
what the NFL wants. They can't say it any other way.
No. I agree. I agree.
Roger Goodell absolutely sucks, and Pete Rozelle and Paul Tagliabue would both hate the current product. I've said it before. They would hate this shit with the bullshit, the alternate national anthem, the bullshit that the NFL keeps pushing. You know, they're going to get on Bosa right now. If he was wearing another kind of hat, they'd be running around cheering for him. They suck. And
if he was wearing a woman's hat, they would.
Yes, that Darnold thing was terrible. The week
Woman of the Year,
because that was a safety. I mean, he got his head swung around, like I said to you guys, like in Reagan and The Exorcist, right in the end zone, and that's a consequential penalty and loss to the Vikings. They lost the week before in the Battle of the Undefeateds. I know we talk a lot about AFC, but in NFC, that was the week before they lost to the Lions in a tough game, the Battle of the Undefeateds. They're coming off that, and they cost them a game with that non-penalty call. And Darnold could have got his head snapped off.
Well, that's the part. See, now there's the part to me where the hypocrisy is just so overwhelming, and you got video of it, and then they want to come out and talk about safety, and you're like, dude, I mean, let's just be honest, right? Football. When we were growing up and learning football, there was really like there was really only like one real safety rule in football. It was the face mask rule. I mean, clipping. Remember clipping? You couldn't smash somebody in the back when they weren't looking because that was very dangerous. But the face mask rule was the first. Like, that's the first rule of safety in football. Like, we knew that one could snap your neck off.
And horse collar.
Yeah, and that thing was egregious, dude. That dude's head was like, "Grah!" And that referee was like, "Oh,
I don't see anything."
Sergeant Schultz,
right in front of my face.
Big Bri, at that time, even in those days, if you got somebody stepped on your balls with their spikes, you got yelled at by your coach. Say, "Well, dummy, you should have wore your cup."
Yeah.
I just thought it's getting to a point where it's like, I don't even know, man. It's just
Family Guy or any other comedy.
Well, and you know, it's like in my mind had to go somewhere else with all this while I'm watching all this stuff. But you know, and it's just amazing too that now that we're at the dawn of all the gambling and all this stuff that goes on, now everyone has headphones on. Everyone's wearing some sort of a headset, right? I mean, like, everybody can be talked to now at any time from anybody from anywhere at any point. And who the fuck would know any fucking better, right? Like, so when you're wondering now why, like, how things could happen, I mean, everything could really be like in real time at this point, right? Like, they don't have to have even a script. They don't even need a script, anything. They can just go, all right, let's just play it out in real time. We'll give you instructions as what we want you to do as it comes. Everybody's wearing them. I mean, like, every fucking body.
It's definitely happening.
Everybody. So it's just like it's just the whole thing is set up. You're watching it all play out, but we you know, I think especially as Clevelanders, it's like, can we just win one Super Bowl and then we could all fucking say it's fake and quit watching this fucking shit already? It's like, it's to that point where it's like, I don't even give a fuck. I just want to win one. Just give me one fucking time and then I'm done. But no, I mean, it just, this was supposed to be the year and it was fucking, it's just not, it ain't gonna be the year. So anyways, I've been rambling.
The one thing I'll point out was remember the Njoku made that catch along the sidelines?
Yeah.
And then they claimed that the New York officials saw it and say that they bobbled it, and then they wouldn't allow Stefanski to challenge it. They said that, well, our replay overturned it, so it's not a catch.
Yeah,
and he clearly got it. The only thing is when he hit the ground, the ball kind of shifted a little bit, but it never touched the ground. It's a catch.
When he first caught it, both feet were in bounds, and he had control. It wasn't until he hit the ground that he bobbled it. It should have been a catch right when
the ball never hit the ground. Right. Yeah, it would be a catch in most, but it didn't matter. I mean, it's just terrible. It's terrible to watch because, well, it's not even like whether it is or isn't. It's the whole inconsistency of the calls in the league. It's never the same thing twice. You can't figure it out, and they want it that way. That allows them to dictate however they want it. If there's no like concrete thing that you can point to, then they can dictate anything. They can say, well, we thought this one was that way. Well, this one was that way. And then what are you going to say? Even in baseball, look how replay is in baseball. How like they even say you'll be watching the game and the guys will be like, well, they're not going to really overturn it. And you're watching it. You're like, that dude was safe. Like, and they're like, well, you know, no, we're leaving the play the same. And you're like, I don't understand this whole concept about like they just the evidence is there, but they assume they're not going to make the change of the call. And the NFL is borderline that too. They do that sometimes too, where you're like, how did they get that from that? Or I don't know. I just
it always pisses me off when they have the official along the sideline staring right at the guy who makes the catch and they call it incomplete, and then they review it and they overturn it. And I'm thinking, how does this dude still have his job? Because he looked right at it and said it was incomplete.
Yeah,
but you had to go to 15 different camera angles and say, oh, he actually did get 2 feet in bounds.
Yeah, I know. I like
you
I said,
I don't for this job, dude.
Well, and the other thing is, like, especially like things like inside 2 minutes or whatever, there's certain calls they could make where replay gets put into play where they don't even have to challenge things and do things a certain way, where like there's times where it becomes unchallengeable because of the way they made the call, versus if they just called it differently, then it becomes challengeable for teams to actually use replay. And sometimes the refereeing fucks all that up. Well, we already blew the whistle, or whatever it is. We didn't think it was a fumble, but it was a fumble, and sorry about that. And you just get fucked. And the outcomes are huge. I remember when we were growing up, people would always say, well, the outcome of a game shouldn't come down to one play.
Bullshit.
That was a long time ago, maybe, but Pete Rozelle put things into play a long time ago, and it's called parity now, and it's really evident more in the NFL now than it ever was, where teams really can at any moment beat each other now, more so than ever. I mean, it's at any moment the worst team could beat the best team in the NFL, and it's never been more so than you see it now. So whatever I was going with that, I've completely lost my train of thought because I went on a fucking tangent there, and I haven't shut the fuck up all night. I don't know what the hell's with me tonight, but
you're giddy from the win. That's what it is.
Is that what it is, man? Is it just fun to talk about it?
It's been 5 weeks since we've experienced one. I mean, we've kind of forgot about it.
Yeah. They won dominating though. They won literally like in a kind of a dominating fashion. The score was close. I mean, I know that, but this was a very good team, dude. And it just didn't seem like they had a chance.
They couldn't get a first down. They couldn't convert on third down at all.
So I wanted to bring that up. So the one of the most fun things about beating Baltimore is beating John Harbaugh. And I mean, I don't know. You guys are about the Harbaughs, but I have my own Harbaugh opinions, and they're not, not a family.
About to play the other one.
And this week we get to play my favorite Harbaugh. Yeah. My favorite one of them all.
I call him Harbaugh.
Jimmy. And he's doing well. He did well. I knew he was going to do well with them.
Should be able to
look better.
Yep.
So what do you think, man? I fucking hate playing San Diego. I don't know what it is about Herbert or Hebert.
They like to rip on Cleveland.
Fucking bastard.
I will say with them the other day, I don't know if you noticed, some guy tried to do an anaconda roll on Hebert's ankle, and his center, whose name I can't remember, dove on the guy and gave him the business. Because whatever the offensive lineman should do, protecting their quarterback. Yeah, he gets what's his name? You just said it. Who's the quarterback on that?
Herbert.
He got him. He gets him. He's down. The ball's gone. He gets his ankle. He like gator rolls his ankle. Center, whose name escapes me again, falls over,
down,
dives on the guy,
start giving him the business,
mounts him and probably told him he's a total bitch and don't ever do that again. But it's what every offensive lineman should do. It's a great clip.
I have to look that up because that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So what was I just talking about? I completely. I don't know.
The Harbaugh.
Oh yeah, so we're playing Harbaugh. So we're playing brother Jimmy, and I mean, like I don't even know. For me, that would be even. It's like winning the mid-season tournament in basketball, isn't it?
And they're both Ohio guys.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't you love to hate them dudes? I mean, like,
I can't stand them.
I mean, like John Harbaugh is going to go down in history as one of the greatest fucking coaches. Like that dude that guy has done with Baltimore over the years is fucking no. I mean, listen, I'm not praising the guy. I hate the guy's fucking guts, but I can't deny when I watch these dudes. I mean, it's the same thing with the Steelers. As much as I hate the Steelers, I can't deny the fact that they're good every year, and it makes me crazier. It's part of the reason that they make me crazy. Baltimore's no different, and Harbaugh's done it in so many different ways. He's done it with different types of quarterbacks. He's done it with different styles. Hey, whatever, dude. I give the dude lots of credit. He knows how to win games. Beating him is always fun. Now we get to beat up on Jimmy. And after what Jimmy's done here with Ohio State the last 3 years, after beating the fuck out of him like a little puppet boy, now he come back smacking us around in Ohio State. Oh, my God. Like my beloved Buckeyes. And fucking
not punished.
Now we get to fucking take them out. Take them out. And I really do believe that. I think what we ought to do is send somebody over to the sideline to literally take them out. Like, I wouldn't have any problem with that whatsoever. Just fling your body at them and just take them down and give them the business.
Yep.
Anyway.
That would be awesome.
DeJuan Jones, a Buckeye.
Yeah, dude. Oh, good point.
Mike Hall Jr.
Since Denzel Ward, again, another concussion. What are we going to do with that cat, man? I mean, like, I think
I guess they're supposedly not as bad as Tua's have been, but I mean,
what the fuck does that mean?
6 concussions is 6
He's had to have been he's had to be. I mean, he probably had at least one at Ohio State and at least one in high school. He's probably on like 9 or 10.
I just don't understand kind of sort of that whole mentality. I mean, you almost in some ways tip your hat to it, right? I mean, like, you're almost in some ways like, hey man, more power to you, dude. If you can keep going back out there, you're a bad motherfucker.
I mean, it's
like, what the fuck, dude?
The backup quarterback at that team up north just retired because he just had another one, and he's not a very good player, I guess. But I mean, Ward wants to keep going as long as he can because he's playing at a high level, but he is in danger of really messing himself up.
I gotta say that I'm not too.
He's never played a full season in the NFL. He's always been injured with something, and concussions are usually the forefront. And it sucks because you can see he plays at a high level. When he's on the field, the secondary plays better. He's one of those guys. And yeah, he makes mistakes. He gets burned every now and again. I think every cornerback does. But the secondary is transformed whenever he's playing, and the fact that every year he does, I've heard someone say that they blame it on his tackling strategy.
His technique.
His technique.
Yeah, that's what Greg Williams said.
That he goes in head first. That he tries to be aggressive and not be the Deion Sanders that, I don't know how to tackle. Yeah. And that's commendable. But brother, you got one life. NFL's not going to be around forever. One day it's going to end. And what are you going to do with the next chapter of your life when you got CTE or something, what other health issues you got just from having 15 concussions over the span of 10 years? It's it baffles. And then, we go back to the NFL, safety. And yet these guys are getting head injuries and they're saying, oh yeah, you can play. Oh yeah, you can keep playing. It's like,
and I guess the Guardian helmet kind of just took a crap. I guess the whole JOK thing kind of like put the damper on the Guardian helmet.
Hit from the side though, it wasn't.
Well, it crunched him. It like crunched his whole body, like his head compressed down into his body. I mean, it was ugly. I mean, dude, when you seen the replay, you were like, oh man, that fucking hurt.
I mean, I commend him for trying to have that protection.
Oh, I love that dude. I mean, if there's a Brown that I absolutely love to watch, it's that JOK. I mean, he plays hard. He plays with all his heart. He's out there giving it his all. He doesn't. He sacrifices his body still. He does. He plays old school linebacker out there. He's out there doing that shit. He's just got the giant head when he's doing it. And that's but. I like him.
I'm just glad that it could have been a lot worse, and I was fearing the worst when they carted him off like that. They got him out. They got him off quick.
Yeah,
like they didn't waste no time getting him off the field. I'm like, oh shit. And fortunately, he got all of his feeling back, and it was just like a mild sprain or whatever. But that's scary shit right there. 1 minute, all of a sudden you're playing, and next thing you know, you can't feel your arms. And,
so
it's crazy.
So what's up, Blair?
While you guys were talking about it, I looked up the guy because I got to recognize him. So it was Nathan Shepard, defensive tackle for the Saints, who on the ground grabs Justin Herbert's ankle and rolls with like a gator roll. It was Bradley Bozeman, the Chargers center, who then attacked him. Instead of rightfully just throwing Shepard out of the game, because weren't the Saints that had the problem? Wasn't that Sean Payton at the start of the year for Bountygate?
Greg Williams.
Okay. Yep. They got everybody on this saying, what is this? Revisited Saints again are doing a bounty on Justin Herbert. This guy, I wish I had the ability. I know there's a thing you can share the screen, but if you pull it up, it's a great, but Bozeman, instead of just rightfully throwing this guy out for what everybody saw was flagrant dirty, trying to cause injury after the play's done, they did offsetting penalties on the guy trying to protect his quarterback.
That's fucked up.
That's the NFL for you.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's right now. I don't care what anyone says. It's getting worse and worse, and they're not fixing anything that which leads to you to believe that it's intended. I don't know. It's just
Saints are core ownership.
Benson,
talk about that a little bit, Jeff. Explain that to what you're talking about.
They're also one of those core ownership teams, and they aren't going to just throw their guy out. They're going to make it. So it's both teams are at fault at that moment. They're part of that group.
Well, I'm sure the NFL probably thought that we gave them their penance with the Bountygate thing, and that's all in the past. And
didn't they get robbed in that pass interference?
Yep.
Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, that was
the NFC Championship got the Rams to the
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst calls in the history of sports.
Yep.
Well, it really was. It was one of the worst calls in the history of sports.
They already kind of did away with challenging pass interference so much.
Because they never overturned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was a wasted challenge.
Yeah,
it was a wasted replay.
Fuck them. We're not overturning shit. That's how that went down. So let's okay. So real quick, I want to get your guys' take first of all on what this week. Who's winning this game? But real quick, let's go around the horn. What do we got? What do we got for the San Diego Chargers this week, or who are they? Los Angeles Chargers now, right? What are they? Who the fuck
Los
are
Angeles
they?
Chargers.
All right. I can't remember who they. I don't even.
I think
they're better off in San Diego. By the way,
I think the Browns are playing on house money and they're going game at a time, and I think they're a winnable game.
Are we playing at home? I mean, I should know this.
We are at home. I'm actually going to the game Sunday.
Nice, congratulations!
My first game of the year. Woo!
Nice, congratulations. That's awesome.
I'm 4 for my last 4 for wins, so hopefully I make it 5.
Nice, dude. That'd be nice.
I'm not going to jinx myself or anything, but I'm hoping that the good winning vibes keep following me to the factory of sadness.
I think the worst will be is 9-8.
You think the worst will be is 9-8?
Who isn't beatable? KC maybe isn't beatable because they get every game, whether they rightfully won it or not.
I love your enthusiasm and your optimism.
Who else isn't beatable?
They're all beatable is a whole lot different than
look at last year. Did anybody pick us to still win?
Listen, it'd be the greatest run in history of all. I mean, I think it would be. It would be a run like no other. I mean,
Pittsburgh is like a hollow 6-2.
Dude, Jameis Winston would have a statue
at the end of the year. Win, but it doesn't mean they're a good team.
I agree.
I do like your optimism. So so based on what you just said, because you just said that, you're definitely picking them to win.
Yeah, I mean,
what's your score? What are you looking at?
I'm gonna have fun with it.
What kind of Jameis score are you looking at? How many picks?
I think it could be similar to the one we just won.
Do you think Jameis is going to throw a couple picks this week, or do you think he's going to go? I mean, he's been
hopefully we're still lucky, but
even if he throws a couple picks, though,
unless he tries, he's not going to throw touchdowns.
I like your style. All right, Larry, give me yours real quick because you don't give a shit.
I told you I can't. Oh, I care. I told you I can't jinx them anymore because since that first game when I said they were going to do so well and they didn't, I can't prognosticate anything with the Browns. I can tell you though, if you want to watch something miserable, watch Thursday night. Watch the Jets and the Texans. I'm sure that'll stop.
They're predicting Garrett Wilson to be traded.
Oh, he should be traded.
Yeah,
fucking hilarious.
I mean, I know they had 3 sacks over last week. Did he have any of them? And he's not even a 3-down player anymore.
No, I'm not talking about our guy. I'm talking about yours. Not Miles Garrett. Not
Garrett
Miles
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh, the other trade him.
What one and the other, right?
Jeff, there's nothing on the Jets I'm going to defend. It's a shit show.
It is, dude. It sucks too because I like Aaron Rodgers. It sucks.
He's just over the hill. I mean,
yeah,
the Achilles has changed him for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to
can't move anymore.
It's not something guys just bounce back from. And
I mean, he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl now 14 years ago, I believe it is. Yeah. Something like that.
I mean, yeah, he's probably going to break the. He's on track. This is how much the game has changed. He's on track to break the Jets' single-season passing yards team record. Now, of course, that was set in 1967 by Namath, who threw 4,007 yards.
Yeah,
it was a 14-game season. The only man to do it, and he actually only did it in 12 because he missed 2 games. Nobody broke that until Dan Fouts after his first 6 shitty seasons and the 78 rule changes. And we've talked, that's fact. And 79, he exploded, or 78 exploded, and he broke it in 16 games after the rule changes. So, now they're going to, so that's just the difference of the game. 57 years later, they've got a guy who's going to have over 4,000 passing yards on an absolutely putrid team.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre, isn't it? Dan, what do you got on for us there, man? What are you thinking up for this weekend?
Do I jinx it?
Why not?
Why not? I say Browns over Chargers. I'm gonna go 24-17.
Wow, another defensive juggernaut for us then. I mean,
sounds about
we
right.
hold them to 17 points, then we had another great defensive day.
I think Justin Herbert isn't as elite as everybody thought that he was, and I don't know.
He can be. He can be elite.
He can be.
He's not consistent.
They don't have Mike Williams anymore, or whatever his name is.
I know.
Tall receiver.
Oh, they got rid of Keenan Allen. That was the big one.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I mean that kid, the white kid McConkey. He had a big game last week. So that's encouraging for them. But it's like, is that something you can count on every week?
Did you say that white kid McConkey?
Yes.
There's a few good wide receivers in the league, Dan.
I know.
Not many.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Oh,
we
yeah.
all knew that.
Oh yeah. I just glad McConkey he stepped up, and I'm like, hey, white kid. All right.
All right. So we got that out.
I'm just playing with you.
Who do you pick?
I really do think the Browns are going to pull this one out again. I think that we could see a streak of wins right now, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for it or whatever. But I've seen crazier, and to be honest with you, I was very impressed by how that game ended. It was just and the team responds again. They seem like they like each other again, and everything's they're all saying kumbaya. It was a good game to watch, and good things could follow. Now, here's what I want to get into real quick.
Before you do, Big Bri, I got to tell you, I promised I wouldn't make any predictions for the Browns because I don't want to jinx them. But my cat, Rocky, just came over and he said 28-21 Browns.
Oh, good, man.
All right, Rocky.
Rocky.
There's Rocky.
Cincy, what do you got? Nothing?
We had deal. He was over here.
My cat's not talking.
I got nothing to talk to. Here's what I want to talk about, though. So it's Halloween this weekend, right? This weekend, how you celebrate or whatever. And Dan and I have with us 2 guys who basically had a musical career of dressing up for every gig they had in some kind of almost like a Halloween costume. And I mean, you guys both have for pretty extensive shit. Jeff, especially you, some of the shit that you put together over the years with Mushroom Head was just, I mean, the wedding dress is just fucking outrageous. So between the two of you, I'm just thinking about we get to hang out with you guys on this podcast and talk to you guys when I get to talk to you and stuff. And it's cool, but Halloween is just cool for you guys, isn't it? Like for you guys, it's just a little different. Dressing up is a little different. The whole thing, isn't it?
It's kind of a way of life.
Yeah.
And I should have done something tonight, but maybe I'll go for next week.
There you go.
Yeah. Those are good makeup and masks.
I like extending the holiday a little bit further.
Yeah, and next week we're going to be celebrating a win again anyway. Even if we're not, we'll get together for Halloween. I'll even dress up. I'll tell you what, we'll all dress up.
I almost had a mask made of the elf, but it never ended up happening.
I will tell you, I don't know if Jeff feels this way. I feel like Halloween for me is, what is it? What are they, 361 days in a year? I think 360. When I'm like this is the real me. I feel like the rest of the year when I got to dress like a
civilian.
Yeah, that feels like fucking Halloween to me.
Oh yeah.
If I was a tattoo guy, I might just get this done on my face, but I'm not a tattoo guy.
It's cool.
I might just get that done and call an end of the day. But then again, I don't always have good ideas. Like I said, coughing up the handball earlier wasn't the best idea. So maybe doing that wouldn't be the best idea either. Hey, can I tell you guys something about Halloween?
Absolutely. Sure. But real quick, I want to ask you a question real quick. The Wolves. The wolves, dude. Are they out? Can if I walk by your house, if I knew where you're at, are the wolves out? He has the 2 fucking coolest wolves that we had up on the stage with them.
They will be out. They'll be out on Elvin Westlake. They'll be out.
Whoa, those are
hopefully by tomorrow. I don't know.
That's awesome.
But we'll see.
Those are cool.
Do the kids get scared?
It'll separate the brave kids from the little.
Yeah, they're amazingly real looking, dude.
I don't want to insult little children. They all got to come up, but hopefully the kids like it. The kids will like it. The parents might get bummed out. Act a fool.
I got this cat.
What's
that one? Does that one say who's going to win the Browns game?
It doesn't talk.
Okay.
Cat's got
okay, Larry, take it away. You got something you're about to show us.
Halloween related. So when I was a kid, Aurora Monster models were a big deal. They were a really big deal. Now, this is a reissue from the 90s by Polar Lights. But when I was a little kid, I saw this Lon Chaney mashup with Oliver Reed box. Now, of course, the model doesn't look anything like this, which was a big disappointment. But nonetheless, I saw these James Bama, who was a very famous Western artist at cowboy and Indian scenes. For whatever reason, he ended up doing all these monster for Aurora models in the 60s. King Kong. Like many kids of the late 60s, early 70s, I absolutely love these things. This is Halloween stuff. So that's my hunchback I've carried around since Otapan, New Jersey. Of course, you only have enamel paints then. So what do you get? You get like 4. So you throw red, blue, and then, of course, you throw blood all over him because what else do you do?
Nice,
right?
Nice. Oh, yeah,
but, he's not too good, but he's still intact. And then, in Chuck Barris, who was the guy who made all the funny cars like the Monster Mobile and the Monkey Mobile and all that, Banana Split Mobile. So then Aurora started doing these monster rods, which were the Wolfman's Wagon, Dracula's Dragster, King Kong's Thronester. So there's a reissue of a King Kong Thronester.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
So that stuff, along with football, things that were consistent to me when I moved to Ohio were comic books, football, monster magazines, monster models. So for Halloween, I wanted to show you guys. I got other stuff I could show you. Like there's a nice Lugosi, the man behind the cape.
Wow, that's cool.
That's inscribed to me, to Larry. Best wishes, Bela Lugosi Jr. Because I met him.
I was going to say, damn, dude, how did you get Bela Lugosi?
I know. That's like,
well, that's Junior. That's Junior. Now this is not Junior. This is real. So back in 1999, we played something called the Monster Rally in Crystal City, Arlington, Virginia, just outside of. Ray Harryhausen was there, Harlan Ellison, Jane Addams, Elena Verdugo, a lot of people. Ingrid Pitt, Carl Lemley, Forey Ackerman, Zachary, and one of the featured guy that was there was the great Christopher Lee. So I got to meet.
Oh, nice.
That's
my
and there is.
That's badass.
Where is it? Christopher Lee.
One of my last masks I wore in Mushroom Head before the ham one was Christopher Lee's head cast, but his head was so long, we cut it at the mouth area and shortened it to fit my face.
I think I told you guys that's
it was from a head cast at him.
I got to see that. Jeff. I would love to see that because he is. I told you guys the story about me. I mean, he was even in his 80s. He was a very large, tall, imposing man with a massive, booming voice. So that's my Halloween stuff for the week.
Cool, man. Cool.
Did you ever hear his metal album?
Yes.
I thought it was awesome.
Wow.
But I liked his Christmas cards. Oh, come, boy. I mean, you got to drop it another 10 octaves to get to where he was, but yeah, it was great.
Guys, that's gonna do it, man. That's an hour right there. Boom.
What are you guys doing for Halloween, though? Nobody said we're doing for Halloween.
Well, I mean, what we're doing for Halloween?
Yeah,
I'm taking my grandkids trick or treating. That's what I do. They come over here to my neighborhood, and then I take them trick or treating with me, and everybody. We all go together. My daughter and my grandkids, and that's what I do. That's it. And then I got a radio shoot. I got the radio show Thursday, so I'll end up going trick or treating, and I'll have everything ready for the radio show. I'll come and sit down.
And I'll be doing sports.
And then at 8:45, Jeff Hitchens.
I listen every week on Rockstar Radio. I listen to Level Up on Rockstar Radio every Thursday.
Spread the word. Spread the word. It's fun. It's fun doing the radio thing. I mean, it is. It's nice to play the local music. I get to play a lot of Manimals. I play a ton of Purgatory. I do play the shit out of those two bands. I will say that.
That's awesome. Thank you for that.
Every week, you two guys are definitely in the mix.
You're too kind. Thank you. I got to say too, it's nice when you hear something, and I do learn stuff, Big Brian, your show, because I didn't know who the Bessemer Stains were. I knew Tony, the drummer, the nice guy. I know he's in a bunch of bands. He's in Olathia, and he's in
Terry.
Who did I say?
Yeah. Toby or Tony or
something. We've already established Dan helps me out when I screw up names.
Terry Johnson is his name. Yeah,
we've established this in past shows that Dan helps me out when I screw up names. I have like a Yogi Berra moment.
There's a ton of dudes out there playing, man. And it gets
I got your back, my brother.
Thank you, buddy. But yeah, Terry's a very nice guy. But I didn't really know Bessemer Stains. But I hear them every week on the show, and they're great. I was super impressed. I saw they have that song out that's got like 22 or 23,000 hits on it. Yeah. Good for them. It's a cool song, and I wish I knew more about it when we had Shaggy, the bass player, on a few weeks ago, because his bass sound is killer.
Yeah, he's a great bass player. Period.
He's just a killer bass
great stage presence. He's a cool dude, man. He's a super cool guy.
I got to go.
We're gonna have him on again. We'll have him on again. He wants to come back on too. He had a lot of fun doing that.
I learned stuff on your show because I don't get out much, but when I hear your show, I get to hear stuff I wouldn't typically hear.
I appreciate that. Yeah, dude. It's fun. I'll tell you what's fun about it, dude. Is I keep discovering new shit, and there's so much more to discover, because when you're dealing with this local stuff, there, you don't realize, but dude, there's like 1,000 fucking bands doing local shit, and so everyone's trying, and I do pick through it, and I do have a group of bands that I really believe in, old and new, and like I stick with them. I mean, I kind of believe. I kind of like to look at it like a radio station where you're kind of playing the same stuff, kind of not like that same song over and over again, but the same bands and stuff, because I think you do got to get people familiar. And I think if you're going to do that, like I play Super Fist a lot, but dude, I really believe in that tune. And I think people need to fucking get hip to some of these tunes that you guys did. I mean, look at that whole fucking Tied to the Tracks album, dude. I literally can pick any song off of Tied to the Tracks and play it. And really, I really don't think one's even that much better than the other one. They're just all that good. So for me, it's just like and Olathia, you just mentioned them. I love that band, dude. I think that's one of the premier bands in Cleveland as far as metal goes. I really do. I think they're just top-notch shit, man. So yeah, I mean, like there's some really good shit out there, and it's a lot of fun. So that's what I got to do. I don't know how we got onto that tangent. I've been on tangents all fucking night.
That's cool. Like it's right there. Dan, what are you doing for Halloween?
I'll be passing out candy to whoever decides to brave the rainy conditions here in good old Elyria.
Yeah.
My neighborhood doesn't get a whole lot of traffic as far as that goes, but we'll have fun. I don't know if we'll dress up or anything, but I know my wife's been looking forward to passing out candy ever since she moved in here 3 years ago, and for whatever reason, we haven't. The planets haven't exactly aligned for us to do it. So this year we finally can. And then Friday, Mop Rules is playing at the Rock Creek Kitchen and Bar in Middleburg Heights. So if you're into some Black Sabbath and good old Ronnie James Dio,
that's fun.
Nails it should be a fun show.
That's a great band. It's a great band. Bernie's a great front dude, man. He's great.
Oh, he's a character. I love him to death.
He's great.
And Jeff, after your stint on Level Up Cleveland on Thursday, are you going to put something on and scare the shit out of the kids that come to the door?
I don't really live in the neighborhood. I live right downtown.
And you got to go find a neighborhood. Haunt the neighborhood. Pick any neighborhood. Just haunt them.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, could you imagine like you trick or treating and then you go and freaking Jeffrey Nothing is the actual dude giving you candy?
I did that once at my mom's when Mia was really little. I just put a mask on and like a blanket on. I was sitting in a chair behind her, was passing out candy. And every once in a while, I just move and the kids would all jump.
Once the word got out, Jeffrey Nothing was handing out candy. A bunch of 50-year-old dudes started dressing up.
Trick or treat.
Yeah.
Instead of putting a bag out, it's like an album. Hey man, sign my album, dude.
Yeah.
Big Bri, I gotta ask you, since you're taking your grandkids out, and you're too young to have grandkids.
I got an 11-year-old dude. 11-year-old daughter, granddaughter. Yeah.
Nice.
What are they getting dressed up at? What's popular with kids?
I don't even know. I won't know until they show up. That's like how it goes, you know. Like they show up, and I'm like, oh wow. They usually do cool stuff though, but there's stuff that's out there today that I'm not really, you know, I don't really understand. And Olivia Rodriguez was what she dressed up as. My granddaughter was Olivia Rodriguez, who's like, I guess she's like the antithesis of Taylor Swift. So or that's how she's explained to me from her. She's like, I hate Taylor Swift. I like Olivia Rodriguez. So I guess if you like one, you don't like the other. But so anyways, that's what she was dressed up as last year. This year she's not coming out with us. I understand this is the first year she's going to be trick or treating with her friends.
Oh, so, friends.
Yeah. So I get the grandson who's he's 7 this year, I think. So that's cool. I mean,
that's a cool age.
He's a cool dude.
Fun at that age.
He's a super cool guy. Super cool. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. You know what I mean? I appreciate the too young to be a grandpa, but I tell you what, I don't mind it. I mean, it's when it first happened, it was
my,
like,
my little Bengal.
Oh, that's a good looking cat.
She stayed kitten sized.
Rounds by 3.
My other cat has an ascot just like yours.
Oh yeah,
she has white right here, just like Larry's cat.
Cool, man. Cool. Are we done? They good?
Yep.
Are we calling it a night? That's it.
My Dio cat just walked away from me. I was about to pick him up, but he said, "No, I'm done."
Dude, you'd make a dude running for president like that is cool. Dude, the makeup is especially sweet tonight, man. I got it.
Yeah, like how it's
you even got the nose right and everything's perfect right here. It looks really good.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, I've got a lot of nose to work with.
You look at that thing.
You guys are too much, man. All right, it's been a good time, man. Hopefully we'll be doing it again next week. You guys catch us here again Tuesday.
Take it easy
at 8:30. And that's it from the gang. We'll see you guys next week. Go Browns.
Go Browns. Rest in peace, Jim Donovan.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Jim Donovan. Oh, we didn't talk about Jim Donovan, but I guess that's been talked about enough.
Save it for next week.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
See ya.
Peace. Go Browns.
Go Browns. All right, we're out. And Jeff is just like always.